Ryan's budget plan this week. Ryan's plan aims at drastically reducing the deficit. Among the plan's controversial proposals, a call for Medicare to compete against private health care plans, the repeal of the national health care law, which is currently being considered by the Supreme Court, an overhaul of Medicaid and the food stamp program, and a sharp reduction in corporate taxes. We'll hear now for a fair and balanced debate on this proposal, GOP Congressman Michael Grimm, who serves on the Financial Services Committee, and Democratic Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur, who serves on the Budget Committee. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, Patty Ann.
All right, let's start with Congressman Grimm. President Obama also says that this plan guts things that we need to grow the economy: education and training, research and development, and infrastructure. What's your reaction to that?
Well, it's simple. I think the president has gone beyond his normal arrogance and is now at a level of hubris. It's very simple, Mr. President. How do you want to pay for any of this? You cannot continue to tax, borrow, and spend. The country is broke. It is going toward bankruptcy. And all I want to know is, where is the money going to come from? Because all we hear is tax the rich, tax the rich. You can't tax the rich to pay for everything. There just isn't enough rich people. There isn't enough money. And he doesn't want to explain where this is going to come from. His budget adds $11 trillion to the debt. He's already increased the debt by $5 trillion in just over 3 years.
Let's let Congresswoman Kaptur in. We should note that this plan passed the House, but it has virtually no chance of passing in the Senate, which is controlled by the Democrats. The Senate hasn't yet put forth its own plan, but Congresswoman, do you see areas of compromise?
I think we have to compromise, but the Romney-Ryan budget puts America on a road to ruin. We need to look at the Buffett rule. Warren Buffett, he believes in fiscal responsibility. Congressman Grimm stated that we have a deficit. Yes, we do. And we also have an accumulated debt, partially because of wars that have not been paid for. Why should we be giving the wealthiest people in our country more tax cuts that we can't afford? The Congressman and I have a love of the Marine Corps. Every Marine shoulders more than his or her share of the load. And for those that are very wealthy, those at the top 1% of our country, why should we be giving them tax cuts, more tax cuts of $250,000 and more, billionaires, millionaires on Wall Street, for example, when the average family then will be asked to voucher out Medicare for their parents and their grandparents, when kids in school will have more difficulty paying for their education. No, there's a fair and balanced way to do this, and anybody who's a Marine knows that there's a better way to do this. So I think there is room for compromise, but the Romney-Ryan budget doesn't do it.
All right, Congressman Grimm, as we mentioned, Medicare would be competing against private health care plans under the plan. Explain the benefits of that idea.
Well, first of all, it does not affect our current seniors. It doesn't affect anyone in the 10 years of becoming a senior. So that's a misnomer that they put out there. It's not a voucher program. So let's correct that right now. It's not a voucher program. What this is going to do is a way to opt out also. This time the Ryan plan gives an option to opt out of this. But I also want to mention one other thing. With all due respect to the Congresswoman, we keep talking about the Buffett rule. Okay, that's about $7 billion in increased revenue. Here's the problem. You use that 6 different times. Where are we going to use it? Are we going to use it to pay down the debt? No. Are we going to use it for infrastructure? Are we going to use it for the other programs? You can't use the same $7 billion 6 different times. So it's very misleading to the general public to say the Buffett rule is going to solve all these problems. It's $7 billion. It's not. It's barely scratching the surface. It's a drop in the bucket. And the other problem with Medicare, if we do nothing with Medicare, it is guaranteed to go broke. It is on a path to bankruptcy. That's what the Medicare professionals are telling us now. That's what the trustees are saying. So we have no choice but to do something. The Democrats' plan is to do nothing and leave it as it is,
Let's
which
let
means
Congresswoman
bankruptcy.
Kaptur in. Congresswoman, this plan also reduces corporate taxes with the idea of stimulating the economy. You disagree with that theory?
Well, you know what? If they invested in the USA, I'm all for it. I'm a jobs Democrat, and I know that the way out of deficits and accumulated debt is to grow this economy. So you just can't keep giving money away to those who then take it offshore. We have to invest in this country. We have to invest in research and development, which the Romney-Ryan budget cuts. They also don't invest in education at the level that's important, but they do give Wall Street billionaires more tax cuts. Now, what's fair about that? And I disagree with what the gentleman said about Medicare. Medicare is a compact of trust between generations. You don't sever one generation from another. This is something we do as a country. And when you allow individuals to select plans that will cost more, what you're doing is you're charging those seniors more money. When we all come together in Medicare, we get the best price option.
We are going to have to leave it there.
There's one question, and so what is the Democratic plan to save Medicare?
All right, so we're going to have to leave you with your question unanswered. Congressman Michael Grimm, Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur, thank you both so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been our pleasure.
And for those of you still looking for more on the budget debate, make sure you tune in, of course, to Fox News Sunday.